Hey everyone, we're here to talk about the recent updates that happened to Rivals of Aether 2, 1.4.0 and 1.4.0.1. So with that said, let's just try and get into it pretty quick. So Galvin came out, ton of fun. All the normal things that come out with the character: target test, arcade, level 50, mint, abyss, the abyssal palette. There's also a purple Twitch drop skin as well. We got a new Tears of Terror, event battle pass. Forest Burn one here is the free one. We got your also a premium bundle here with Maple and Absa and Galvin. Metal Graveyard came out, which is really cool. I really love the spooky animations at the bottom. I don't know, it's really cool when the last dock happens. Additional spooky skins for other members of the cast: Midnight Abyss, Olympia, another purple slasher for Claren. There's going to be 3 new R2CS events. The PRGE Zetter skin is out now. The other 2, I believe, are coming later, in the month. They also added Champion Loxodon skins, and we also got the magnifying glass, as well as the ultimate kill spark. So if you get hit, there'll be like a red flash if it'll kill you and you DI poorly. And then the purples are still there for those curious. So there's a lot of really important things that happened with this specific patch. So we're going to go over the general, Rhino, Force, and then we'll get into Loxodon. So generally, shield grabs are now bufferable again. Standing grab went from 6 to 7. The recovery on standing grabs went from 23 to 26. And the cooldown after wave landing, grab cooldown after wave landing, went from 2 frames to 1 frame. Not being able to buffer shield grabs made it too difficult to take advantage of small gaps in shield pressure compared to how easy it was to consistently have frame perfect offense. So we're reverting that change and instead slightly adjusting the frame data of grabs in general to be slower and more laggy. This helps balance grabs in other situations, like when used after a floor hug. One of the key counterplaying options against grabs is using low startup attacks to interrupt the grab before it comes out. But because a lot of our faster attacks had similar startup to grabs, it was less effective than intended. This also makes spot dodges more effective against grabs, as spot dodging the character, as the spot dodging character will now be frame positive even the latest possible dodge. That's so impactful. And that's been a pain point I've had with the game since release. So it's really cool that finally got addressed. You can no longer floor hug non-tumble attacks while performing a grab. Since interrupting grab startup with a quick attack is part of the intended counterplay, we want to make sure it's effective at doing that without the risk of getting floor hug counterattacked. This works the same that floor hug prevention mechanics do during flinch and parried states. Floor hug medium strength hits while in the knockdown start and knockdown states will now force another knockdown instead of sending into hit stun land. This prevents floor hug counterattacks from knockdown opponents, making it much safer to apply pressure to them. Ground friction will no longer be doubled when floor hugging, so they miss horizontal hits push floor hug characters slightly further away, reducing their counterattack options. And entering jump squat will now clear the shield buffer. And there's actually a bug with this, which we'll see get fixed in the next patch, 1.4.0.1. And then Crag has a chance to play voice lines. Salaryman Crag can play from his normal skins as well. So then we have this Rhino F-tilt change. F-tilt hit 1, hit stun multiplier went from 1 to 1.2. Previously, hit 2 could be shielded after floor hugging hit 1 at max range. This makes hit 2 only floor hug shieldable if you crouch cancel hit 1, no matter the range at which you're hit. And chat, I had made a floor hugging post and I talked about the Rhino F-tilt, and Youngblood, this is Trevor, the lead balance dev, and he agreed. So I'm taking, this is a month ago, I'm taking full credit for this right here. This is the Watherum buff, alright? Up special will no longer start spinning when holding the right stick in that direction, which they didn't quite fully fix from the previous patch. Grabbing an opponent will reactivate Slipstream. because apparently down special or down throw didn't reactivate Slipstream. And then scrolling to the bottom, we have Boar's Burn, where they just reduced the hitbox sizes of back air. All right, so then most of this patch was focused on Loxodon, and I'm gonna try and summarize a lot of this stuff. I'm not gonna fully read through every single line like I have with some of the other things, because a lot of it is pretty similar stuff. So I think the biggest changes are right up here at the top, where hitting the Molten Boulder will now increase its launch speed and charge value relative to the damage of the move hitting it. So just to talk about this, and you can always pause and read this for yourself, but basically the boulder is going to be able to move faster and hit you with more knockback if you hit it with a stronger move, which greatly improves Loxodon's neutral in my opinion. It also makes it potentially a little harder to parry if they send it at you really fast, right? They buffed the neutral special Tusk. So the knockback went from 8 plus 0.85 to 8 plus 0.88. So it kills a little bit, sooner. They changed the knockback on Loxodon's up special falling hit from 10 plus 0.1 to 6.5 plus 0.1. And basically, this means that Loxodon can still get good reward after hitting the falling hit, but he's not just going to get, an immediate ledge dash and into a strong attack or something like that. Loxodon is going to have to work a little bit harder to get the same level of reward. Down special will now restore wall jump on hit. And I didn't know it didn't do that before, to be honest with you. So for consistency's sake, that's really good. Down special level 2, they basically reduced each hitbox from level 2 and level 3 down by 20 centimeters. Although actually the down special level 3 hitbox went down by 40 centimeters, which is quite noticeable, as you can see. And then a lot of these other changes, as you'll see, they kind of move these, like they shrink the hitboxes down by like 5 centimeters or so, or they move them to be, more along the actual axe, right? Jab 2 recovery was changed as well. Dash attack, all of these hitboxes down by 5 centimeters. And again, as you can see, right, like it's just more along the axe. This was also a really important change here, where the dash attack isn't going to combo into itself, even on a better DI, especially at the later percents. It has more knockback scaling, going up from 0.3 to 0.45. And this also does mean that it will beat Floor Hug earlier. They did do some adjustments to Forward Tilt 2 to make that a little bit safer on poke. All of these changes make it go from minus 29 to minus 23. And also, if you are getting hit by F-Tilt 1, you're probably going to need to DI and SDI downwards. So both sticks down, essentially. They did move the middle sour spot 15 centimeters forward for F-Tilt 2, and so you can kind of see all this stuff, right? You can see how there's like this little overlap compared to where it was before. The up tilt inner hitbox isn't all of this, it's less, right? You can see how they're moving things to be more alongside of the axe. Same thing's true for forward strong. This hitbox is gone. It's just here, right? It's just gone. We can see the same thing happen here for up strong, right? Neutral air, all the hitboxes removed or reduced by 5 centimeters. And again, it's more along, the actual axe. Same thing. What is it? This is forward air, right? So the last 2 frames, the inner hitbox, which was in here, is gone. Again, same kind of thing. They did a lot of tuning on Loxodon for all these different things. Back air as well. This is now a sour spot, and this is the sweet spot on the actual axe. The sour spot is 3.5 plus 1.11, and the damage is now 10 instead of 12. So again, rewards more precision, but not too big of a deal overall. Loxodonts are still going to be hitting you with all that. Up air reduced by 5 centimeters. Again, you can see we're just following the axe. Get up attack, same thing. They cleaned up the, these hitboxes where they go. Ledge attack, you can also see the difference in these hitboxes and where they are, right? Like this one is not here. So yeah, most of that stuff is just really tuning Loxodon. By no means is Loxodon dead. You just need to be a little bit more precise. Loxodon still has an amazing combo game. He will still combo you really well. Again, his neutral, in my opinion, is better. His recovery is going to be better. He's still got really good stuff. Moving on to the second patch that happened, they fixed a bug with Olympia's opossum skin where the hands were gone. Localization fix. And they also made it so that entering jump squat from a non-shielding state will no longer clear the shield buffer. So the change in 1.40 that clears the shield buffer when entering jump squat unintentionally made the input timing for buffered wave dashes more strict. This was especially noticeable when jump canceling Zetterburn's neutral special, frequently leading to an empty jump instead of in the intended wave dash. Now it will only clear the shield buffer when you jump out of shield. And then for Galvin will now exit the galvanized state when parried, just like Edelis's ice armor and Loxodon's molten charges. So yeah, overall, pretty solid patch. I think this is, these changes in particular are, if you dropped this game before, you're going to want to come back and try it out because floor hugging is still a useful mechanic, but it's not as, omnipotent as it was before. They really have done a great job. They also buffed defense a little bit in the form of spot dodge, actually beating grab, which, again, that's how it should be. So, really great stuff. Shout out to the devs. Thank you so much for the hard work. And with that said, that's all I got for you today, chat. Stay safe. Stay elite.